with the plan that I've proposed. I kind of zipped through that pretty fast
Yes, you did.
because I know time is short today. Is there
Okay,
any
so
questions that I could answer?
What you've done under the farm budget, you've increased the new equipment from
I've increased it from 13,000 to 13,500,
500, okay?
which will accommodate $10,000 for the truck, to $9,975 basically, and $3,500 for an estimate for the bagging system of the new lawnmower we bought. Last year we discussed that we would buy the mower to save money without it, and we'd go the next year with the bagging system. So that's the other $3,500 in that line item.
What is the average? How long are you going with this truck if you purchase them?
My plan that I was asked when I first started, ma'am, was to come up with a vehicle rotation. And what my plan is that we keep this truck, because we do 4 payments, we would keep it for each truck for 8 years. So we pay 4 payments on this truck, and while this truck's getting its 4 payments, we're keeping this truck. And when this one's paid off, we rotate out. So every 8 years, we're rotating out and having a new, replacing an 8-year-old truck that's been used for plowing and everything else around here. So far, knock on wood, we're in our 3rd year, and our maintenance costs to the new truck have been next to nothing outside of oil changes and tire rotations, which we do all ourselves in the shop. We've kept our maintenance costs on the newer trucks has been very low, and we have the dependability when we go out there to start the truck and go to do the work. It's ready to go usually.
I have talked to you before, but I hope that you take that present vehicle that's got the sander on it, that's a rust bucket, that's the frame is bent, that you park that right out next to the pathway that leads into this building for the 14th.
Yes, I plan to have it right up front here with the door wide open
Yeah.
so that any members of the delegation could review it.
And the truck that you're planning to purchase is a 3/4 ton, not a 1 ton.
Yes,
And that will hold the sander okay?
yes, it'll hold a 1.8 cubic, this price is a 1.8 cubic yard sander. It's the polycast sander, so it's pretty much a hard plastic. It has doors that close on top for a cover, so that way while we're out plowing, that the sand is not getting all wet and freezing up in there, so when we go to use it, it's dry and able to be used. And I believe most of all the working parts in there are also, that are not plastic, are stainless steel to cut back on the rust and the corrosion. That's what I've been told. And it's a 3/4 ton. We could have gotten a 1 ton probably for a minimal amount more, but I thought a 3/4 ton would work well. It would also cut down, I'm hoping, on fuel as far as when we go to our classes for water and sewer and different things like that. We currently use this truck, but if we had another truck that's more fuel efficient, we would take that truck.
I don't know what the pleasure of the board is, but I would like to give Will the authority to purchase a snow blower as quick as possible.
Yes.
He's looking for $2,300, which includes the cab to it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So
Yes?
move. Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Then would somebody make a motion?
Yeah. So move.
Commissioner Kenny, make a motion that we purchase a snow blower with a cab for not to exceed $2,300. Any further discussion on it?
No.
All those in support of the motion say aye. Aye. And so voted, so you move on that as quickly as you can.
Who seconded the motion?
I did. Does anybody have any comments regarding purchasing of the new truck with sander
Snow blower.
over a
Oh.
4-year period?
Is there an interest charge on that, pay, 4 payments?
Yes, because we could buy the whole package for $35,000. If you take 9,975 times by 4, just shy of 40,000. So because we're doing it over a 4-year period, we're looking at close to 5,000, I guess.
As interest?
As interest, just shy of that, if I were to do quick math.
And basically, if the delegation would let us take the money out of the contingency money, which is taxpayers' money, we could save the $5,000 and purchase it outright.
Yes.
So $5,000 is interest if you go with the payments. Huh?
And these are government prices, right?
Yes. Yep, he locked this price into his, when I asked for the quote, when you asked me to have it ready for the delegation on October 3rd, he locked it into his computer, so he says that we are okay, but just keep in mind that, you know, it takes 6 to 8 weeks to order the truck.
How does the board feel about putting the total amount into the budget versus doing it over 4 years and saving $5,000?
I would prefer to save the
Yeah,
5,000.
I think that's a better way to go.
That's the better way to go?
Yeah.
I would agree, as a taxpayer, if we can save 5,000, I'm fully for it. As a department head, I'm gonna ask though, if you wanna put that into my current budget, delegation's gonna take till March 31st to approve the budget. What am I to do this winter?
Yeah.
I've talked with some local, just to give some updates, I've talked with some local contractors because the delegation said, oh, just go hire someone to come sand. That was their explanation to it, to my problem. And I've talked to several of them, and most of them would tell me, oh, sure, we'll come up and help, that we wouldn't have a problem. I said, well, great. He says, but my busy time's 4:30 to 7:30. That's when I'm out doing all my, normal routes. So, well, geez, what time do we need to have our stuff sanded around here? I need to have it done by 6:30 for when all the shift changes are going on.
Mhm.
So we're gonna wait till 8 o'clock when he gets done with his jobs to come help him sand and take the risk of our injuries of our employees going inside.
So what you're suggesting then is that if you put it in the budget for 4 payments, that you could then go out right away and do it?
What the plan that I'm suggesting is, if I got the approval from the commissioners, I could go back in an hour from now and I can call the guy and order the truck right now. And we'll be going with that, with this option. If we wanna, I still feel that the first option was the best option, to get it from the contingency fund. It's due to the new nursing home. We would save that $5,000. It's taxpayers' money either way we look at it for the most part here. But delegation told us else different, so I'm coming up with the next best plan that I can come up with.
Without your approval? Why can't you take it from the contingency fund?
Probably can. I think because this is an issue, maybe Mr. Babson, who's the chairman of that subcommittee, might have some comments.
Yeah, I do. First of all, it doesn't make any sense to buy it on time if we're gonna have the truck for 8 years. $5,000 wasted.
Yep.
Can we work out 2 options? Number one, the delegation meets in a week or 2. A, could we ask for a supplementary budget to pay for it? B,
No, it's too late to do that,
Okay.
a supplemental budget.
Will you people agree to do it the anti-McCarthy way here with moving it around? Call up the Prezios and say, look, we want to order the truck. This is the way we have to do it. Can we do it? Give it to you on this basis, contingent upon us getting, or if we get the full appropriation in March, we pay the price it, I haven't done the math.
$35,000.
$5,000 less,
Yep.
and see if they'll work with you, because you gotta have the truck. If we're gonna have it one way, we're gonna pay $5,000 more. If we go the other way, we won't have any truck at all until March, and, you don't plow snow then. And so I would think that we'd have Will call and see what kind of a negotiation he can come up with either one of these programs. And we guarantee to give him the full money at the end of March if it's approved, or we continue on at the $9,975 in the meantime.
As a representative, you then disagree with what was suggested by the delegation, that we go out and buy a Kubota with a snow blower and, or a Bobcat that would plow as a result of Representative McConkey's suggestion that we buy a Bobcat. I think, if I understand what Will has done, a Bobcat would cost more than a $35,000 pickup truck.
The Bobcat probably offers more mobility, but it also has a much smaller snow removal capacity, so what you pick up in maneuverability, you lose in time on the job.
And we lose the fact that doesn't fix our sanding issue.
And you can't take a Bobcat over the highway if you want to use it.
Right.
You need to use it for something else.
And the other question I posed to some of the people that maybe disagree with what I've asked for is how many professional commercial landscapers, or because most of the time the landscapers are the ones that do the snow removal, so let's call it snow removal, commercial people that have accounts are running around with tractors and snow blowers and things of that sort on a Bobcat to do their jobs.
Yeah.
I don't know, I haven't called a lot of them, but the ones that I know off the top of my hand aren't. They're running around with trucks, with plows, in the kind of setup that I'm asking for.
Yeah, I'll open it up, go ahead, Mr. Albee.
As having done municipal leasing, to answer Representative Babson a little bit, first of all, DePrizio isn't going to care whether or not you bring a check down for the whole amount or for the payment amount when the truck gets there. Secondly, you can order the truck today, because every municipal agreement is always based upon the funding.
Subject to the approval of funding.
Subject to the approval of funding, so you can start the process of getting the truck built. As far as picking the truck up in December and paying for it in March, that's a little more questionable. And I don't know that anybody's going to take that deal.
But we can give them, that's why I suggested we go, give them the first payment of $9,975 and then arrange it so that if March, why doesn't that work?
Once you sign up for the 4 payments, you're into the 4 payments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're counting their money.
Yeah, but you can always pay it off early, usually with no penalty. yeah, I'd check on that. Well, sometimes.
My recollection of municipal leases, the way they used to be written, was that if your funding isn't brought forward the next year, there's no penalty for returning the vehicle. So if you sign up for 4 years and you have your first payment and you pay it, in the second year the delegation decides they don't want to spend any money, you don't have the money to pay for the truck, you can return it. But as far as a prepayment, I think you'd have to look at the language of the lease.
But am I wrong? I thought we were purchasing it outright. It says nothing about a lease here.
It's you make 4 payments and the last one you pay $1 to own it. Is basically the concept. You pay
So it's a lease and then a buyout.
with a buyout for $1.
Right. Thank you.
Did the preacher say that is the interest on it if you go with the 4 payments?
That's the number he gave me for
The interest?
for the 4 payments.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming from 35
Oh, okay.
that's interest.
Because sometimes companies don't have interest. You can get it interest-free.
Right. If that was the case, I would think they would take 35 and divide it by 4, and our payment would have been a little bit lower than the 9,975. I don't have the calculator, but I'm just guessing that.
So it's 35 even?
35 even is what he told me.
And that includes the plow and the sander.
And the sander. I have all the bid printouts
I
sitting
know
on at my
some
desk.
people pay $35,000 just for the pickup.